I guess one of the hottest topic is Istanbul earthquake. How serious is it going to be? Can you tell us when it's going to happen?
Actually, it's really serious. When we have this earthquake, it will affect not just Istanbul. It will affect also Çanakkale, Tekirdağ, Bursa, even Kocaeli, Balıkesir, whole region. I'm sure that Izmir will feel the shake.
That serious?
Yeah.
That Izmir will feel the shake of Istanbul earthquake?
Of course. Expecting
God bless
three.
us all.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode with Istanbul Sour. Today we have Aslı. I'm very excited to have Aslı in the studio today. Aslı is an earth scientist. I would like you to introduce yourself, Aslı. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, David and everyone. My name is Aslı Garagon. I'm working as earth scientist at Boğaziçi University, Kandilli Observatory and Earthquake Research Institute since 2001, for years, let's say. I have two children. I live here in Istanbul for 30 years. And for now,
Great.
Yeah, that's
Perfect. So I have a lot of things to ask you, to be honest. But I would like to start with a very simple question that I've never asked before. Why earth scientist? Why earth? What about earth that you decided to become an earth scientist?
yeah. Actually, when I was at high school, I was always into the works, or let's say jobs like related with open air, for example, archaeology and geology.
Okay.
And then I choose earth science to understand the earth as a whole, I suppose, yeah.
Nice.
I was very young and I was confused.
So did you know what you're getting into by choosing earth science?
Yeah, as a feeling, yes, I can say that. But by time, after all years, you see the big picture, and yeah. In the beginning, I think I felt this.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you. When was the first time you felt like this is my job? I love it.
I think it was at a field work near Iznik. We were collecting data from the field to understand the movements of the GPS sites mounted on the bedrock. I was alone at site. I was with the animals and silence. I was reading a book when I was collecting data. I had time to read, and all the people in the village was helping me. They served food, many things.
Nice.
And then I thought that this is my way, and I'm happy to do this in practice. And also, of course, when I get the data after the field work, and when I realized that those data tells me the truth about the Earth, I felt that it's
by studying one small part of the Earth, can we talk about the whole planet?
It's not so easy, but actually, Earth and the earthquakes, let's say, behaves differently. I mean, every earthquake has a different story. So if you solve just one, and one by one, you can see the big picture, actually.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Interesting.
It's
so
possible.
You need to track them, basically.
Yes.
I see. So let me ask you this fundamental question: that what is the job of an earth scientist?
First of all, you have to realize that what kind of questions you have in your mind
Okay.
about the Earth. And then in order to figure out these questions, in order to find out the answer, you should understand your data, equipment, and those kind of things that you may help you to answer to find the answer.
Yeah.
And then actually it can be anything. I mean, it depends on what you wonder about
I see.
the Earth.
So basically, there's like a very large, categories of data and headlines related to Earth, and depending on which field you're mostly interested in, you can choose to study that specific field.
Yeah, you know, Earth has many layers, and you can work any of these layers, for example. So it's really huge. Like you may interested in crust, you may interested in underneath of that crust, many things. Or in my case, I actually would like to answer the question related to tectonic moments. And as you know, they may happen suddenly.
Yeah,
Or,
earthquakes, basically.
Yeah, basically. And they may happen slowly, very slowly. If you choose one of them, it's another big question box for you, actually.
I understand.
So
I understand.
There are many areas.
Very interesting. We were sharing texts. You shared with me two amazing texts. One of them was about earthquake. And when I read the text about the earthquake, I was very inspired because that was a very different perspective of the concept of earthquake. So let me ask you so that our audience can also hear from you. What is an earthquake?
Okay. Actually, I have a different definition.
Okay.
If you would like to hear. Earth, as I said before, has many layers, like boiling. Think about boiling milk and a cream on top of it. So because of this boiling liquid under cool crust, the crusts have many broken pieces. Actually, they move very slowly, annually, at a rate of nail growth, like 2 centimeters at a centimeter
Annually
level.
2 centimeters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, in different parts of the world, we have different rates.
Okay.
But
how's it in Turkey?
In Turkey, we have like 2.5 centimeter annual movements.
Okay.
But we have also different rates.
Okay.
But if we are talking about North Anatolian fault system, then we can say that it's about...
Where is it exactly?
It runs from the east, like Karlova, to the west until Saros Bay. It's like 1,200 kilometers.
Okay.
So and it annually sliding like 25, let's say, millimeters.
Okay.
Per year.
Okay.
But sometimes we have earthquakes because of this sliding moment. The friction of the blocks, because if you have a fault, actually the boundary between the crustal blocks, which are sliding, and the force of sliding exceeds the friction between them.
So
it resulted
these layers are
actually. Those are not layers of the Earth. The layers is like we have the inner core inside.
it's the crust of the Earth.
I'm talking about the pieces of crust.
Pieces of crust. Okay.
Yes, we have many pieces like jigsaw puzzle.
I see. Why do they move?
they move because of the liquid underneath them.
I see.
So we have the energy in inner core, and because of this, we have the hot liquid part. We call it mantle. On the top of this hot liquid, we have cool brittle crust on top of it.
Okay.
So because
and that's causing earthquake.
Yeah, but actually you can remember a boiling water in a pot, and if you have an energy source like fire under it, and you have the liquid water, let's say, and on top of it you have the cover, and those are crystal pieces. Because of this dynamic, they are moving.
I see.
And sliding. But sometimes this sliding movement, the driving force, win.
I see.
Win the friction, and then earthquakes happen. It's actually it's a natural event.
You mentioned that this is a natural. You compared it in your text. You were comparing it with flood, with the rain, with snow.
Yeah.
Is it that natural, really? Because people freak out about earthquake.
Yeah, I know this. It's especially on these days. I know people are very sensitive to this topic. But my point is, it shouldn't be a disaster. Let's think about snowy days. If we have heavy snow, if we are in a cottage or in a hill with a white blanket, snowy ground, we feel happiness. But if we are in a crowded city, in the traffic, because of heavy snow, then it's a disaster.
I see.
So earthquakes are the same, actually. If we are prepared, if we know the action during an earthquake, and if we live, let's say, as a friend with the nature.
Yeah, we need to be friendly to the nature.
Yeah, then earthquakes won't be disasters anymore, I think. Yeah. So
we need preparation.
Yeah,
we need to prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
Nature is beautiful, you're trying to say.
Yeah, of course. Think about wind.
Yes.
Actually, natural events contribute to life.
Could you please explain that a little bit?
Yeah. Let's talk about wind. Yeah, it's a very good example, actually. Okay. But if I'm talking about, if I speak to children, I always choose rainbow because rainbow is another natural event.
Of course, yeah.
Which is very.
Feel free to choose any of them.
Let's pick wind.
Okay.
Wind is really great, especially in hot weather.
Okay.
We enjoy blowing wind. We have some pictures like wheat field blowing in blowing wind. But sometimes, especially again in crowded cities, we have some fallen plates, flying rooftops, something like that, which will harden the life. For people, of course. But if we know this beforehand, then we can be prepared for this. Because we cannot say that there will be no wind anymore from now on. We cannot say this because wind can contribute to life.
How?
For example, flights use wind to save the energy.
Yeah.
Or we use windmills to get the energy.
True.
And also, let's think about we don't have wind. Actually, in order to imagine this situation, first we should define that event.
Okay.
Let's define wind. What is wind? Wind is actually an air movement. And it actually balances the atmosphere, the heat in the atmosphere.
Okay.
And
without wind, what happens?
Without wind, some places on the earth will be always hot places, and some places will always be cold places.
I see.
There will be no balance because wind actually balances the temperature.
Okay.
It goes from high pressure to low pressure on the earth in the atmosphere. Without wind, we are not able to live on the equator and the poles.
Okay.
Actually, it really
contribute to human life. So what about earthquake now? Because all my life I heard negative things about the earthquake.
Yeah.
It damages people's life. It damages people's property. It kills human, and it's always sad.
Yeah.
So why should I be happy that we have earthquake? Should I be happy that we have earthquake on the planet or not?
Yeah. First of all, I should say that please imagine for a minute. Imagine we have earthquakes. But we don't have any damaged buildings. We don't have any dead people because of this. Just imagine this.
Okay.
It's a happy life.
It
we
is.
still have the earthquakes, but they don't affect our lives.
True.
As much as...
Can be something even interesting, to be honest. It's a shake, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back in time.
Okay.
Like the evolution.
Okay.
For example, 5 billion years ago.
5 billion years ago.
Approximately 5 billion years ago.
Okay.
The evolution of the Earth started.
Okay.
And 4 billion years ago, tectonic movements started.
Okay.
As far as we know. And approximately 2 billion years ago, these tectonic movements formed mountains, rivers, seas, oceans, an atmosphere,
Okay.
even atmosphere.
Okay.
If we have mountains, earthquakes did it.
Okay.
So, but 2 billion years ago, from now, this evolution slowed down, and then the life began to start.
That was 2 billion years ago?
2 billion years ago.
Okay. When you say life began to start, you mean, what do you mean by life?
You mean, I mean, like life, one cell life. But of course, we have humankind
way more later in time.
Thousands years at a very small scale when compared with the evolution of the Earth. But it's actually earthquakes and these tectonic movements, let's say these tectonic movements create and form the life, the mountains, the plants, fish, animals,
we have all
everything.
Of these things because of earthquakes.
Of course, because if in order to understand this concept, we can again imagine we don't have earthquakes anymore.
What happens if there is no earthquake on the planet?
Okay, if we don't have any earthquake, it means that there will be no mountains. Because of tectonic movements, they are sliding. Sometimes they are colliding. Sometimes they are getting apart from each other.
Yeah.
When they are getting apart from each other, they actually form oceans because of the water in it.
True.
On the top of it. If they are colliding, they are creating mountains. If there is no movement, there is no mountain, there is no ocean. Actually, by time, wind will flatten all of the geographic features, and we will have a very flat, smooth, no mountainous Earth surface.
It will be a flat Earth.
Flat Earth, but not. I mean, it's again round.
Yeah.
But there is no ups and hills.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't mean flat Earth.
Yeah,
Please do
yeah.
not misunderstand me.
Yeah.
I do not say that. Yeah.
And it will be covered by water, oceans. It means that the core, the radioactive energy source, our source, will be cooled.
Oh. So the
it will be
Earth will cool down.
Yeah, cool down. Which
And?
means the magnetic field of the Earth in the core will not function properly. Which means the sunlights, but I am talking about the dangerous one, the dangerous radiation from the sun, will enter from the atmosphere, because at that case we don't have any atmosphere.
Wow.
And
That's
there
like,
will be
you know-
no life. But it's a huge process. It's not just happen
certainly.
in a minute. It's like million
That's
years.
how earthquakes are important to us, to
Yeah.
our life,
Yeah.
basically. We are going to extinct without earthquakes,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, exactly. And let's think about moon. Think about the other planets. They don't.
What about them? Do they have earthquakes in them?
Actually, they don't have earthquakes. They have some tremors, like shakings, but not because of the dynamics of the layers.
Moonquakes, they say.
They say moonquakes and Marsquakes. Scientists, we are actually investigating the tremors there. We have seismometers there for years, especially on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, we understood that there is no life there because there is no movement. There's no earthquakes there,
There's no earthquakes there.
which means they don't have layers like we have on the Earth.
I see. So basically, the core of the moon and the core of the Mars are cold.
Yes, they are cold and they are dead planets.
They're dead planets.
They are called dead planet. There's no life there.
Is there all planets on solar system are dead?
As far as we know, yes, they are dead. No life. We just have the Earth.
That's sad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I hope we can find some live planets, maybe other systems.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I hope we will achieve our problem here in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, if we handle the earthquakes, let's say earthquakes are heartbeats of the Earth, because Earth is alive,
Yeah.
and those earthquakes are the heartbeats. But if we have not proper buildings and soil type and something like that, we always face side effects of these heartbeats.
I see.
Yeah.
I understand. So basically, earthquakes are there to keep us move on with life and be alive and keeps life moving. But they can also be the cause of end of life
Yeah.
if we are not prepared for them.
Exactly.
How can we be prepared for them?
To my knowledge, so far, actually, we are suffering from lack of awareness. I mean, we are not prepared for mentally
Yeah.
to the earthquakes. We don't want to talk about earthquakes. We don't want to see the effects. We don't want to understand. We don't want to have earthquake back in our house.
We're really afraid.
Yeah. But first, we have to be prepared mentally. We should say that anytime, anywhere, an earthquake happen, especially here in our country, Turkey, there's no place without earthquakes.
Yeah.
many levels, at many scales we may have, anytime, anywhere. So with this consciousness, we should be prepared for the earthquakes. But how? First, actually, I divide the subject into two topics. The first one is the soil type.
Okay.
And the second one is building health.
Okay.
Building structure or health of the structures, let's say. Other than this, all countries have their own hazard maps for the earthquakes.
Okay.
But it just considers the distance from the fault. They divide the country as regions in different graded levels. And it just considers the distance from the fault.
Okay.
But we have other components. As I said earlier, the first one is soil type, and the second one, building health.
Okay.
If we have, let's say, we may have bedrock soil type, we may have soft soil type, like mud or something like that. In those cases that we have mud or soft soil type, of course, we should have proper building types for this soil type.
Yeah.
If we have bedrock, again we may have problems because of the building health. So two components. We should have good soil type, and we should also have healthy buildings. If we are sure that two components are okay, and then we should be prepared for the shaking, because in those cases, if we are sure that we have a healthy structure, healthy buildings, and good soil type, it doesn't mean that we don't have any shake.
Still there'll be shakes.
Still, we may have shake.
There'll be no destruction, but shakes.
It depends on the place, actually, because earthquakes are not same the circles. Think about the pebble, the stone.
Okay.
You are drop it on the pond, and it creates circles on the water. But you are far away from the center, it will weaken.
I see. So some buildings will be destroyed no matter what.
Yeah, of course.
Sad story.
Yeah, because earthquakes behaves different than this.
I understood.
If you may have far away from the fault, but if you have bad soil type and bad building health, which means it will destroy your building. So
now back to the shakes.
We are back to the shakes. We will be prepared. We will learn how to act during an earthquake.
Okay.
Actually, we may have very simple precautions. Like, for example, we always close the emergency exits. For example, we shouldn't do this. We should need an open emergency exit doors.
Do not block the emergency exit in your building, please. Yeah.
We always do this in Turkey, unfortunately. The other thing is we should have earthquake bag, not just one, maybe 10, because we don't know when an earthquake happen
and where are we going to be while earthquake is happening.
Yeah. So because of this, we may have many earthquake bags, like in the house, maybe in the car, maybe in your backpack, a small one, just for any case. This is another thing. We also work for this different scenarios. Like, for example...
Like a role play?
Sorry?
should we do role play at home?
Yeah, exactly. We can do it with the kids, for example, at home, or we can do it with the colleagues at our workplaces.
Yeah.
We can actually practice. If we have an earthquake right now, what we're gonna do? What we gonna do?
Yeah.
We should practice this. We should try. We should take this seriously.
I understand.
So I think practicing, getting prepared in terms of preparing bags, earthquake bags, and getting prepared in mentally, and also, of course, we should have proper building types and
Of course.
soil types. Those are the key elements.
Yes.
To be prepared.
Yes.
As far as we know, I'm sure that we will learn many things from the expected earthquakes, future earthquakes. I'm sure.
Yeah, I was gonna touch that point. I guess one of the hottest topic is Istanbul earthquake.
Yeah.
How serious is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Can you tell us when it's gonna happen?
Yeah. Actually, it's really serious.
It's really serious.
Really serious, because I can give an example from Kahramanmaraş. In 2016, we wrote a paper in an international journal, which...
what journal was that?
Sorry?
What journal was that?
As far as I remember, Oxford, one of the journals of Oxford,
Okay.
maybe Geophysical Journal International.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
And we said that there will be two earthquakes.
Two earthquakes. You guys predicted that.
Yeah. Actually, it means that science do its task properly. So we should know this. We should be prepared.
Okay.
And for the Istanbul earthquake, I choose Marmara region earthquake because when we have this earthquake, it will affect not just Istanbul, it will affect also Çanakkale, Tekirdağ, Bursa, even Kocaeli, Balıkesir, whole region.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that Izmir will feel the shake.
Is it that serious?
Yeah.
That Izmir will feel the shake of Istanbul earthquake?
Of course, because we are expecting
God bless us all.
We are expecting three
earthquakes.
earthquakes.
You guys predicted two earthquakes for Kahramanmaraş, and specifically two big earthquakes happened in Kahramanmaraş, and now we're expecting 3 earthquakes in Istanbul. What magnitude are we talking about?
7 plus, of course.
7 plus.
7.2.
For sure.
7.4, yeah. 7.5 for sure. Because it's, GPS stations, the data coming from GPS stations, historical seismic records, and geological evidence are able to tell this information to us. It's obvious. It's really obvious. And each fault system has its, let's say each fault segment has its own earthquake cycle.
Okay.
And 3 of them in Marmara Sea are overdue, which means anytime...
Ready to
ready to fail. They are ready to fail.
Anytime. What should happen for them to have the earthquake happen? What are we waiting for exactly? Like, what will be the cause of the earthquake? I mean, you said that it's overdue and they're ready to
fail.
Right now, you said that there's this cycle, that the cycle is completed. So, there must be a trigger.
Yeah.
What is the trigger?
Okay.
That will cause the explosion of the earthquake?
Yeah, actually, we are still working on this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a scientist. Yeah, as a scientist.
So this is something that science does not have an answer
to. Yeah,
to.
because in the history, sometimes there are like 20 or 30 years delays. So it's nature. It's a very big.
What is the maximum delay we can have?
I think 30 years or something like that.
Okay.
So they are overdue like for 2 years at least.
Can we predict the time for Istanbul earthquake?
No, we cannot say this time. We can
approximately in a period.
We just say that it's overdue.
Okay.
It's overdue.
We just need for the button to be pressed.
Yeah, we have. Now we are talking about 3 segments with the cycles like 250 years cycle, 2 of them, and
250 years cycle is done.
Done. The last earthquake at that segment, 1766. In 1766. We had
same earthquake,
two
basically, same cycle, same earthquake from the same cycle.
Yeah.
1766.
66 earthquakes. We are still. So it's over the. If you calculate the cycle.
And 3 earthquakes, you said.
Yeah, we also have another 500 year cycle segment. It's also overdue.
That's the time I moved to Istanbul. Like 5 years ago, I moved to Istanbul. 250 years cycle is completed. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So as you know, Istanbul is a. Let's look at Japan's case.
Yeah. Okay.
Japan's media were expecting and always talking Tokyo earthquake.
Okay.
Just like Istanbul.
Okay.
But they had the earthquake in Tohoku in 2011, and actually they were prepared for the earthquake, but they were not expecting this huge amount of tsunamis.
So moving to the Istanbul earthquake, we talked about Istanbul earthquake. You're an earth scientist living in Istanbul. You mentioned you've lived here for 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years, right?
30 years, yeah. It's very. I was born here.
I want to get to you and Istanbul's story a little bit.
Okay, I was born here in Üsküdar, Zeynep Kamil Hospital, in 1976, and I lived here for 2 years. My father was police chief at that time, and we were always traveling and moving in various cities in Turkey. After 15 years of this traveling, I came back to Istanbul to go to university. Mm-hmm. I passed the exam and I enrolled Istanbul Technical University, Geodesy and Photogrammetry Engineering in 1993. Mm-hmm. And I lived I've been living here for 30 years. So I have a very strong bond with Istanbul. I really love Istanbul. But at the same time, I'm a little bit feeling tired because of this. By time we have traffic, we have many people, we have many big cities problems, metropolis problems here. So at this age, I think I'm very near to leave Istanbul. Maybe in future. Maybe in future. Yeah, okay. I'm very close to do this.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it because you're tired of Istanbul or the earthquake?
Not because of the earthquake, because in Turkey, if I'm in Turkey, any place...
Everywhere in Turkey has the danger of earthquake.
In a certain level, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. But you're tired of the city.
Yeah. Actually, I can say that I love this city. I love Kadıköy. I love Beşiktaş. I love...
What do you love about it? Tell me some of the memories maybe that makes you fall in love with Istanbul.
Yeah. Actually, my whole life, I spent my whole life here. Like my student life, I was here. I was studying here. I'm getting married here. I had children here, and I live in Kadıköy. I lived in Kadıköy at the beginning of my life, like as a baby. in
So
Kadıköy.
were you born?
Yeah.
You were born in that hospital.
That
you
hospital
Zeynep?
and Zeynep Kamil Hospital.
Hospital.
Zeynep Kamil Hospital is a maternity hospital, and it's very old. Actually, it's like 155 years old. And 1 year ago, on my birthday, I went there. That hospital.
Last year you went there.
Last year, on my birthday. I
feel?
visited this place and I just walked around the corridors and sit on the bench in the garden, and I imagined the day I was born.
Wow.
With my parents and grandma and my older sister,
Nice.
Aydin. And it was like a birthday gift for me.
Nice.
Because I always give value to visit the places that I connected in the past in a way. Actually, I have a plan to do this. I lived many cities in Turkey, and in the near future, I would like to visit all of them, like Mersin, Manisa, Sivas, Muğla, Aksaray,
Do you have
Erzincan.
a favorite city in Turkey?
Yeah, actually, maybe because of my memories, I don't know why, but I really like Mersin.
Mersin.
Mersin is a hot place, actually, but it was nice. I was going to primary school there and preschool days. It was great. We had the delicious food like shalgam and many special pastries.
Yeah.
And I was feeling free. For the whole day, I was spending my time in the open air. I was playing with my sister. It was great. I think
Nice.
I choose Mersin.
Mersin,
Yeah.
great to know. Coming back to Istanbul, I want to hear one of your special memories of Istanbul.
I have many special memories in Istanbul. Many.
I can tell.
But I can talk about the one that I had in Istanbul Technical University campus, located in Maslak. I think it was 1998 or something, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I was with my one of my friends, Pervin. We were having our master lectures. After the lecture, one day after the lecture, it was in winter time. It was snowing very softly in the beginning, just after the lecture, but by time it turned into heavy snow.
Okay.
And the whole campus looked like a white blanket.
Yeah, nice.
And Pervin and I played by hours. We played. We rolled on the ground. We made angel trays on the car on the ground.
Nice.
We really enjoyed the moment. Just the moment, just snow.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Nice.
We were like red faces, and we were thirsty. We were hungry. we got soaked. After that, maybe 4 hours later or something like that, the darkness came out. We went to the main road to take the bus to dormitory, and Pervin, at that time, Pervin was living in Pendik, which is very far away from Maslak, and in those circumstances, no transportation, and Pendik is not reachable. Was not reachable at that time.
No metro, no metrobus,
no
nothing,
metro,
right?
No metro. Just
Metrobus yoktur o zamanlar.
minibus, bus. and if you are lucky, you have car, and or you may take a taxi.
Yeah.
But we don't have money. And then we just realized that when we got the main road, we just realized that there's no movement on the road. All the engines stopped. And then we took a walk to the dormitory, which is 10 kilometers far
10
away.
10 kilometers of walk in the snow, Istanbul.
Yeah.
What year is this?
Holding our hands because the ground was very sleepy and it was really hard to walk in a storm.
I see.
When we reached the dormitory, that night we were together. We changed our clothes. We brewed a tea. We drink tea, and we were chatting. We were laughing ourselves.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was really great day and night for me.
Nice. What about teaching at Boğaziçi University? When did you start teaching at Boğaziçi University?
Actually, I was a research assistant in 2001 when I was trying to get my PhD. But I became instructor in actually 2011.
Okay. How did you feel?
It's great, actually.
I mean, the first time that you knew that I'm going to teach at Boğaziçi University, one of the best universities of the country.
I was proud of myself, of course, and I was aware that I'm very lucky to be there. It is the best university, of course, in our country, and also it has a great. It has a great structure in terms of both the atmosphere, the physical atmosphere, and the relationships, the relationship between the instructors and the instructor and the students, and the administrative people and the instructors and the students. Yeah. It is really great. Yeah.
Nice, and you guys got an amazing view over there.
Yeah, of course. We have many good campuses.
Yeah.
Especially my favorite is Kandilli in the first place, but then I really like Güney Campus, South Campus. I don't know if you have ever been there.
I've been to the Etiler one.
Etiler one, but in Etiler we have 3 campuses, like Hisar, North and South Campus. Which one?
Do you know the one that you take the metro actually to?
Kuzey Campus.
That is
the
that
North
Campus.
So because
and you have the view of the bridge and Bosphorus from there.
That one, South Campus. Yeah, okay. Yeah. If you see the
I could see the bridge.
Okay, then probably you were at South Campus. Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
Which is great, yeah.
Nice, great, perfect. Good to know. It was very inspiring to have you here today talking about this. I have just 2 last questions. I know we are out of time, but I've just last 2 questions. I want to ask you. It's a bonus question, basically.
Okay.
Do you think aliens exist?
I prefer to call them alien, but of course, yeah. My answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't call them alien.
Okay. It's you are answering by science.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my this is the result of this answer resulted by my experience and my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, please.
We will meet.
We will meet them.
Someday, but probably I won't be here. I mean,
it's going to be
after many years. Yeah.
I thought you went to buy cement or something. I'm not going to be here. So last question. Yeah. If you could describe Istanbul with one word, what would that be?
Oh.
I know it's a tough question. It's
Yeah.
beyond one word.
Okay. Just one word.
Yeah.
I would choose blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I sometimes label the cities, or I see the cities as a color palette, with a color palette. So blue is actually a cold color,
I see.
but at the same time magnificent. Yeah.
I see. Very good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, we had. I wish we had more time, and I wish I could ask more and more questions. I have many more questions. Maybe in the future we can have you again, Aslı. Thank you very much. Please contact us at info@meettotalk.cafe. Subscribe, comment, listen to us on the Spotify, Apple Music. We had an amazing conversation today here with Aslı.
Thank you for
thank you
having
very
me.
much.
Thank you, David.
See you guys. Take care.
Goodbye.